All right, guys, let's get some NCAA basketball picks and props for Wednesday, January 31st slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at that game picks leaderboard. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, at the moment, I am 0-0. My game is currently in session. I give out Lindenwood -2.5 going up against Southeast Missouri State. Guys, I warned you it was a bottom 15 Kim Pom matchup, and Bear, what did I say? The score was 20-18 at halftime, something like that. It was a slobber knocker. I wish I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't get to watch it, but I'd had them on, and my eyes were bleeding. But thankfully, the game's still going on. Lindenwood, I think the game's tied right now with about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, my eyes weren't bleeding. My game was one of the best of the night. I had North Carolina -9.5. They lost outright to Georgia Tech, a team who's only won one time in the last 8 games or 7 games. Georgia Tech played great. I'm sad I lost some money, but Georgia Tech deserved to win that game. A no call by the ref at the end of the game. North Carolina probably should have won, but I'm glad Georgia Tech got to storm the court. But Trey, let's go to the player props graphic. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Have you start us off with those?
Yeah, guys, I'm 0-1 on the player props. I give out Jonas Adu to go over 21.5 PRAs versus South Carolina. Jonas only got to 11 PRAs in this game. He was quiet and inefficient. Dalton Connect, he was just taking all the shots.
Yeah, Dalton Connect, I think he scored 31 points again, another 30-plus point day for Dalton Connect, and it was basically all at the end of the game. At least 15 points of it was at the end of the game. But I did go 1-0. I gave out Eric Dixon to go over 15.5 points. He scored 24 against Marquette. He was a beast in the second half to go over the number, so we did go 1-0 there. Trey, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're actually going to give out 3 other game picks besides our play of the day for the free play side for both of us. So what we basically are going to do, give out the games that people can watch on TV and potentially start to get into betting, so you can watch your bet in real time. So these are going to be ESPN games, ESPN2 games, ABC games. So the matchups might not be the best, but everybody can watch it on TV. Everybody can start maybe to get into some sort of betting rhythm. But Trey, let's take a look at the first game. It's actually a good one. Northwestern going up against Purdue. I know the spread's not good. Purdue's -13.5, but whenever these two teams meet, it's always a great matchup. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, these two smart schools. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. Zach Edey going up against Boo Buie. Both those guys are stars in their own right on their own teams. It'll be interesting to see what exactly happens. And if you look at that key player for Northwestern, Boo Buie, 17-plus points in 7 out of the last 8 games. The one game he didn't was the one game I backed him. So take that for what it is. Maybe I'm a little scorned, but give me Purdue -13.5 here at home. They've simply just been dominating Big Ten play. And I'm not for sure. Yes, Northwestern, they do have a good defense. Their offense is all right, but I think that they're going to struggle to guard Zach Edey in this game. And whenever you look at Purdue's perimeter shooting as well, they are one of the most elite perimeter shooting teams in the nation. So if they can get hot from behind the arc, feed the post with Zach Edey, I think this game will be all she wrote.
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take Northwestern +13.5. I do want to say Northwestern's won back-to-back meets between Purdue, and Purdue's probably going to be a little bit upset about that, so I'm a little bit nervous, but 13.5 with Northwestern, I feel like it's way too much. The defense is great. I feel like the only thing they need to do is stop Zach Edey. But if you look at the bottom, Zach Edey had 35 points last time against Northwestern, and Northwestern still found a way to win the game. Let Zach Edey eat. Hit your shots from the perimeter, play good defense everywhere else. 13.5 points is crazy to give Northwestern. I'm going to take Northwestern here +13.5. These two teams, they're not that different. I think they both play good defense. I think Northwestern has very efficient offense. So I'm going to take Northwestern with the points for that play. Let's move on to the next game. This one is going to be an absolute slugfest. Notre Dame going up against Virginia. Virginia -13. I'm starting. I'm going to take Virginia -13. You can, if you gave me money to bet on this game, I would give it right back to you because I'm not putting money on Notre Dame any time of the week. Virginia, they're one of the best teams defensively in the nation. I put them right up there with Houston as one of the top teams in the nation. They are very efficient on offense. I know the numbers say 65.4 points per game, but they score 65.4 points per game, but they only have like 44 possessions per game. And that kills the other team. Whenever you're efficient on offense and you keep other teams to not possessing the ball, you're going to win the game by double-digit points. So I'm going to take Virginia here. Notre Dame, all they have is Marcus Burton. That's it. That's everybody on the team. They have to shut down Marcus Burton, and Virginia's going to win this game by 15-plus points. Trey?
This will be a fun game to watch. The spread's interesting because I have been backers of Virginia over the last month or so because their defense has shown up as the season has progressed, but I'm not for sure if they could really beat anybody by 13 points just because their defense is just so good. And like you said, they play at such a slow pace. I'm not for sure if they could really get up double digits on anyone. But I agree with you. I'm going to take Virginia here -12.5, -13. Notre Dame, they are not good. I actually picked Virginia going up against Louisville last week, and Virginia dominated in that game. There's really no difference between Louisville and Notre Dame this season. So I expect Virginia to do exactly what they did, and they did that at Louisville. This is a home game for them, so I expect them to show up.
I'm thinking like 63-42. I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's going to be the final score. It's
yeah,
going to be – go ahead.
I would say this is another game where we say, do they get over 50 points or not?
No, I don't think Notre Dame scores 50 points. And if they do, they'll probably cover the spread. But, we're both on Virginia minus 13. Let's go to the last game we're going to be breaking down. This is going to be a great game, I think. Florida going to Kentucky, spread minus 6.5 in favor of Kentucky. I'll have you start.
Yeah, both teams are pretty close in KenPom. Both of them are top 40 teams. So they both had very good seasons so far, and they probably both project to make an appearance in the March Madness tournament whenever it does go on. But I'm going to go with Kentucky here, minus 6.5. They're just too good. Florida, they are all right as well, but they're just nothing that really makes you want to write home about them. There's nothing that really is eye-popping about Florida so far. Yes, Walter Clayton, he was good. He transferred in from Iona, and he's been a huge kickstart to their team. But at the end of the day, I'm not for sure if he's going to be able to do enough to keep up with Antonio Reeves and company with Kentucky. This is a statement game for Kentucky. They love playing against Florida, and this game's not going to be any different. Give me Kentucky here, minus 6.5.
Yep. I love Kentucky. I know everybody on here knows that I love Kentucky. They've been bad over the last two games, and I mean really bad offensively, defensively, however you want to look at it. This is the game they get back over the hump and start looking like a top 5 team in the nation. They're going to win this game by double-digit points. Take Kentucky here, minus 6.5. Florida, they're not great on the road. They lost to Tennessee by 20-some points. They barely beat Missouri. Head-to-head, Kentucky has owned this 5 straight consecutive wins. Kentucky, they've covered the spread in all 5 of those games. Kentucky at home, they're a wagon. They're going to score 90-plus points. They just got to hold Florida to 82, and we win this game pretty easily. So I'm going to take Kentucky with you, minus 6.5. I'm also going to see this over under 171.5. Go ahead and give that to me too. It's an insane over in college basketball. It's almost challenging me to take the over. So give me the over 171.5 as well. All right. Those are the 3 breakdowns. Hopefully you guys can watch some of those games on ESPN and ABC, CBS. All right, Trey, let's go to our game picks for our locks tomorrow. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be going with this Furman going up against the Citadel game. And this is going to be a very fun game to watch, even though neither teams have really had tremendous seasons so far. Furman, they entered this game with an 11-10 record. They're also 7-10-1 ATS. And the Paladins, they are 1-7 on the road this season. That is no bueno, but they are ranked 141 in KenPom. And the Citadel, they come in this game with a 9-12 record. They're also 7-9-1 ATS. And the Bulldogs, they're 5-4 at home this season. That's earned them the 261 ranking in KenPom. So Furman, they're ranked significantly above, and they've kind of had a better season as well. So that kind of checks out. And whenever we look at this matchup historically, it's been dominated by one team as well. Over the last 10 times these two teams have played, Furman, they're 9-1 straight up and 7-3 ATS as well. And I expect that trend to continue here in this game, guys. Give me Furman. I'm going to take them minus 6.5 on the road. These two teams could not be coming into this game with different momentum. Furman, they've won 5 out of their last 6 games, and they've looked really good in conference play as well. In the Citadel, they've lost 7 out of their last 8 games. They have looked bad. They've gotten dominated in conference play. So that's another great trend in our favor. And Furman, they're led by 3 stud scorers in Marcus Foster, JP Pugs, and Alex Williams. Those 3 guys, all of them average 16-plus points per game. That is very impressive. And the Citadel's highest score only checks in at 15.4. Furman, they're simply going to be able to outscore this team. They play at the 56th highest pace, and they score the 139th most points per game. Citadel, they check in as the 31st lowest. I expect Furman to just run up the score on them. I'm not nervous that it's a road game, and Furman's not looked good on the road because they played a very tough non-conference schedule, and that's where most of those road losses came. So I expect them to kind of bow up here and turn up here on the road. Give me Furman minus 6.5 versus the Citadel.
Yeah, sure. I like that one there. For my play today, we're going to be in the SEC. I'm going to look at Alabama going up against Georgia. Give me the over 165 in this game between the two teams. A massive number, and I know it's a big number. We have 2 teams who can score the ball with ease. We also have 2 teams who have been lacking defense all season long. Alabama's leapfrog Kentucky and is now the top team in the nation, scoring 89.7 points per game. They are plus 14.1 in the scoring margin because they're still giving up 75.6 points per game. The offense, they're great, but the pace of play that really hurts this defense because they're giving up over 75 points per game and they're allowing teams to shoot 43% from the field. Georgia's basically the same team as Alabama, except they don't score as much. They're putting up 77.3 points per game, but the Georgia defense is just as bad as Alabama, giving up 73.2, 224th in the nation. Both teams are coming off horrible defensive games, allowing 102 points and 88 points. Alabama gave up 88 to LSU. Georgia gave up 102 points to Florida in an overtime matchup. And Georgia has now given up 102 points to two explosive offenses, Florida and Kentucky, in 2 of the last 3 games. Alabama, on paper, better than both of those offenses. And Alabama's given up 75-plus points in 4 consecutive games. And to top it all off with cherry, these teams in the last 5 meetings have hit the over in every single game. Give me the over 165.5 as the play. Trey, let's go to the props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go with Jacoby Walter to go under 14.5 points going up against UCF. I really love this under for Walter in this game. Even though this true freshman is having a great season, Jacoby, he's averaging 15.2 points per game this season. But whenever he plays on the road, that average goes down to 13.7 points per game, which is under this number. And I think Walter's going to struggle to find his shot here in this one because he's going up against an elite defense in UCF. That's because the Golden Knights, they allowed the 12th fewest points per game at home this season with an average of 59.4 points per game. That is so very low. And that's because they forced their opponents to 37.6% from the field at home as well. That's earned them the 8th defense in the KenPom rankings. And I think that they're going to play great team defense against Walter here in this one, who has already struggled to perform on the road. Like I said earlier, he scored 8 points at Kansas State and 7 at Oklahoma State. Both of them were tough road games, but UCF, their defense is a lot tougher than those guys. So give me Jacoby Walter to go under 14.5 points against UCF.
Yeah, Trey, I like that one there. For my play today, I'm going to take Mark Sears of Alabama to go over his total points against Georgia. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and Mark Sears is a do-it-all point guard for Alabama. He is getting his shot to play for his home state team, and this has been his best season of his career. He's averaging 20 points per game, shooting 52% from the – and he's scoring at a top-tier level this season. He's 28th in the nation in scoring per game. On the road this season, he's been even better. He's scoring 21.9 points per game, 50% from the field, and over 40% from behind the arc. He's coming off 3 consecutive games scoring 21-plus points, and his number's probably going to be at 20 points in this game, but I'm still going to smash the over. I also love this play because in his last game against LSU, he struggled from the field, but he made 11 free throws out of 11 attempts, shooting 100% from the line. And it tells me 2 things. The first thing it tells me he's very aggressive. He's going to get to the free throw line. The other thing it tells me is he can make his free throws. And having the ability as a point guard with the ball in your hand the majority of the game, it's a huge perk to take the over. Give me Mark Sears here. He's going to dominate Georgia in this game. Give me the over of his total points. Probably going to be 20-plus points as the play. Trey, let's go to the graphic. Have you start us off?
Yeah, I went with Furman here, minus 6.5 versus the Citadel. I have a lot of confidence in the road team here. They're going to show up here. They're the significantly better offense, and I think that's going to rear its head throughout this game. Also going with Jacoby Walter, under 14.5 points versus UCF. Jacoby, he struggled on the road in Big 12 play, and going up against the best defense in the Big 12 is going to be a tough task.
Yeah, I like UCF defense. I'm going with Alabama versus Georgia over the 165.5 points. Ton of points scored in that game. And they give me Mark Sears over his total points against Georgia in that high-scoring game. He scored 21-plus in 3 consecutive games. Make it 4 consecutive games for Mark Sears. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA Plays and Props for Wednesday, January 31st slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching. All right, guys, new intro here for the Bear Pack. We hit 10,000 subscribers again. We want to thank everybody again. Trey, if you want to pull that 10,000 subscribers up, if you guys comment llama on any of our videos up until Super Bowl, you will be entered into winning $1,000 from us. The only catch is, come Super Bowl Sunday, you have to be in the chat to claim the prize. We're going to have a live at halftime. You have to be in the chat to claim the prize, and you have to comment llama on any of the videos up until the Super Bowl. We also have 12,000 subs coming right around the bend. We're at 10,200. We're going to give away 2 tickets to anybody to any game they want. NBA, NFL, college basketball. It doesn't matter. We can wait until the new season for NFL. Any game you want to go, whenever we get to 12K, we're going to have that giveaway coming up as well. We also have a new game. It's going to be Trey and myself versus the Bear Pack. You can call it Pros versus Joes if you want. I don't really like the name because I don't consider us pros. I don't consider you guys Joes. But Trey, if you want to go to the YouTube channel, this is how you guys play. You're going to go to our YouTube channel. You're going to hit the community tab. We've been in the community tab a lot this season. You're going to go to the community tab. We have our plays for the day. So obviously the intro is not going to have plays for today, but these are our plays for our next video. It's the Pelicans minus 2.5, the Heat minus 5, Quinnipiac minus 4.5, and Wisconsin minus 10.5. Those are Trey's and myself's plays. What you guys are going to do is pick which one you think will not hit, meaning you're going to fade us, which is Pros versus Joes, which is the game called, but you guys are going to try to pick which one is not going to hit. If you guys win, you're going to get a point. If we win, we're going to get a point. We're going to run it Friday through Friday every single week. Whichever team has the most wins, so 4-3, 6-2, whatever it is, that person or group will win $50. If the community wins, we're going to do a wheel spin for the community. If we win, I don't know how we're going to get our cheddar, but you guys are just going to have to subscribe, I guess, more. But that's the game. Hopefully everybody understands it. Trey, let's get into the video. Look at the leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's two options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month. A little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,